Today on the channel, we dive in heads first with another set rankings video, this time from the Vault, Series 2, WWE Mattel Elite Ringside Exclusives.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here. Welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Elite set rankings video. And today we got from the Vault Series 2, the Ringside Collectibles exclusive in our crosshairs. But of course, for all your From the Vault exclusive needs, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And of course, we're going to do this rankings video like we do all the other rankings videos on the channel. We're going to start at number 8. We got 8 figures here. Work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my favorite figure from the Vault Series 2. Of course, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. Your list 100% right. My list 100% right. It's amazing how that ends up working out there. But from the Vault Series 2, Ringside Collectible Exclusive. Obviously, the second series here in the Vault. We got another series on the way. I don't know, a couple months, whatever time is at this point here. An interesting line, a little bit of a controversial line, as we do know. Of course, re-releasing old figures is always going to be controversial. However, a lot of these do have some upgrades, and some of them lacking in the upgrades that people would want. So it's a really interesting dynamic how these come and go. Some things make a lot of sense. There's some good improvements. Some, they basically just stood still in time, and some actually got even worse. So it's always weird how this goes. You would think constant learning, constant improvement, a hallmark of the channel, a hallmark of everyday life for me and myself, and probably many others as well. You always want to get better on things. Why release or semi-re-release things that aren't improved? So it's always a give and take with these vaults, and I guess it's always give and take with any toy line that we ever do review or talk about here on the channel. But a very interesting dynamic with this set. Not going to be for everybody. That's how it goes with these re-releases. But there's enough meat on the bone for some of these to warrant a second pickup. And you know me, I'm right here. I'm in a complete elite collection right now, so I got to pick these ones up. And I always do appreciate the ones that have drastic changes or some improvements more than some of the other ones, because I have the original versions of these. And of course, we unboxed all these on the channel. If you want to see those videos, check them out. And of course, I compare them to their predecessor figures to see the differences between the two. So besides that, not a lot more to get to. Let's just get after it. Let's start at number 8, of course. And I'm trying to think where I start with this set. Who is my least favorite of this set right here? Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to go... I'm going to go Road Dogg as my least favorite. I feel like the head sculpt, the old head sculpt, a little sleepy looking. This one, I don't know. It just looks like he's got some hardcore Just for Men going on in the face right there. They did forget the wrist tape on this one that was on the last one, so that is a negative. We lost some things over the last one. This one is improved, however, with the Soft Goods DX shirt, where the last one had the painted on shirt, which never works out that well for me. So it does have some improvements, but it does have some things that take away from the figure. So a little of this, a little of that, a dash of the other. How about that? But Road Dogg is what it is. He's coming in at number 8. Number 7, I'm going to go to the Kane Undertaker figure. A wild figure, and this is one of those ones that wasn't released that long ago, maybe 2 years at this point. Wasn't exceptionally hard to get, so I don't know if anybody was screaming for this to get re-released. It'd be really interesting to find out why Mattel chose some of these figures, this one included, why they would choose this to be re-released so soon. Now, this did get some upgrades of the boots from an Ultimate Edition figure, which is pretty nice. I'm kicking myself a little bit, but you can't go back in time and change time unless you got a time machine. Maybe one of you guys do. Who knows? But I bought 2 of these originally when they came out, so I could display one, of course, as the Undertaker holding the mask, and then one as Kane. Now I got a third one. I said, how am I going to display this? Well, I went with the Undertaker head with the mask over the top to make it different. However, it does look very goofy trying to display it this way. I do appreciate the the 3-in-1 figure, though. I really do like that. 4-in-1 if you're a mint on card collector. But unfortunately for me, I had quality issues with this one. When I was doing the glamour shots, unfortunately the peg in the neck that holds the body to the head broke on me. Very easily cracked on me. Very brittle plastic on mine. I don't know if I just got unlucky or whatever. I don't know. I have to work on fixing this apparently, but I'm just resting this on here right now. Hopefully I can fix it. I don't know if I can without cracking the torso, and then it's a lost cause at that point for somebody like me that is not a customizer. This works for right now, but I may pick up another one of these. Maybe Christmas time, Ringside has a sale, and there's a big discount or something along those lines. I may pick up another one of these. We'll see what happens, but disappointed in the quality. Once again, your mileage may vary on that one, and I feel like it's just too soon for this one. This one just didn't feel right to me, which I'm going to totally contradict myself probably later in this one here, so I guess stay tuned for that. But there's 8, there's number 7. Now we go to number 6. Number 6, I'm going to go to Rikishi. Nothing too bad against this Rikishi. It just feels like we've been here before. We just got another Rikishi in the Greatest Hits line not too long ago. Really interesting. They're re-releasing all these Rikishis, but they're getting the most out of their Legends contract is what they're doing. Of course, got the head shrinkers not too long ago. We got Making a Difference Fatu coming. Wouldn't be shocked to see an Ultimate Edition maybe as a Target exclusive in the future, something like that. Who knows? A good Rikishi, just not terribly different from the last ones here. A nice enough figure is what it is. If you need a Rikishi, you can't do a lot worse than this one. It is a good figure, just not at the top of my list, is what I'm going to say there. So that's number 6. Now we go to number 5. It gets a little bit harder in this line here. Gosh, where am I going to go? I think I'm going to go, it's close. 5 and 4 are close, but number 5, I'm going to go to Diesel. I like the inclusion of both tag team title belts. I love this figure going all the way back to Elite 16. I thought this was a very good figure. A lot of people, even in the comments, are not a fan of the head sculpt here. I've always loved the head sculpt on this one. Yes, it's cartoony. Yes, it's different, but it was how they were done back then. So you can't fault technology for moving on and getting over. You can fault this one, though. I think this would be a perfect opportunity to have given us this figure with an updated head scan, face scan, true effects, whatever you want to call it, whatever you classify it as. I feel that was a huge missed opportunity on this one. As much as I like this head sculpt, it would be a way to make it different from the old one even more. I think that was a huge missed opportunity on Mattel's stake. Besides that, though, I like this figure and I like this head sculpt for what it is, but I already have this in Elite 16 head sculpt. I would have liked to seen something new, true effects, something like that, or even reusing another one. They could have done something like that. So it is what it is. Diesel coming in at number 6 right here, or number 5, I should say, right there. So now we're down to the final 4 here. Oh boy, it's getting difficult, but I'm going to go Eddie Guerrero, whoops, at number 4. I like this Eddie enough. This is a grail piece for many collector out there. Early in the Legends series, the last figure I tracked down to be a completist in the Elite line when I was decided to make the say, you know what, I'm going to get every figure ever. This was the last one at the time I needed to complete my collection. So a little bittersweet, this one coming back out. I do like that they changed the boots up a whole lot different. Makes it feel different, as we always say. And of course, the head sculpt a little bit different, and then the pinless joints makes it feel different enough. And it is a iconic Eddie Guerrero figure that people need in their collection. So definitely worth a pickup. Worth coming in at number 4 for me. Now we're down to the final 3. Number 3, I'm going to go to Shawn Michaels. Really interesting on this one as well. Very strange they totally swapped the head sculpt and did a different head sculpt on this. Why didn't they do that with Diesel, but they did it with Shawn Michaels? Same time, I appreciate that. We got a different head. That's a good day at the office, if you ask me. So enough differences right there. Of course, he did come with the same plastic Polly Pocket size entrance gear. To me, make them as different as possible, as I always say. Leave the old one in the entrance gear. Leave them with the long hair down. Now I got this one. Take the entrance gear off, use this head. It feels like a different figure, and it is, but it isn't at the same time. But that's a little hack, I don't know what you call it, but that's how I'm going to display this one. Makes it feel different, so I do really appreciate that as well. Now we're down to the final 2 here. I'm going to go to Billy Gunn at number 2, which leaves, of course, Paul Heyman at number 1. Billy Gunn, great upgrade right here. Of course, you get a nice soft goods shirt with this one here. I'm going to make it different than the last one, not put it with it, keep the tag title on. You got 2 different bandanas. Once again, use the DX one on the other one, this one on this one, make them as different as possible. But the head sculpt is so improved on this one compared to the last one. I don't know if I got a bad head sculpt or it's just kind of everybody had that one, but that is the worst Billy Gunn head sculpt. I don't know if I should say worst, but the worst Mattel Billy Gunn head sculpt we ever did get. I really like this one a whole lot more, and that jumped him all the way up to number 2. This one felt like a real upgrade, and especially being able to make him different is a good deal if you ask me, which leaves Paul Heyman at number 1. Never in a million years would I guess he would be number 1 on this countdown. I said it in the review. I rolled my eyes when this lineup was announced. I said, this just came out less than a year ago from Amazon. I still say this is too soon for this to be in the Vault collection. And honestly, I don't think this should have been in the Vault. Should have been in the regular Elite line is where it should be, because not everybody gets Ringside Collectible exclusives. Not everybody knows about Ringside Collectibles. Think about the kids. Somebody think about the children out there. They need a Paul Heyman in their collection. If their parents don't know Ringside, they don't know the internet, they don't even know this exists, and they need a Paul Heyman with their bloodline in their fig fed. I can only imagine myself as a little kid if I didn't have the LJ and Bobby Heenan. I needed that in my collection, just like a little kid in this day and age would need a Paul Heyman for his bloodline collection. But that being said, I rolled my eyes. I said, they can't be doing this. However, as this is a suited Paul Heyman, there's not a lot of bells and whistles you could do. Mattel went overboard on this one. We got 2 title belts, which is great. Last time we only got 1. That's absolutely beautiful. We got all the interchangeable hands to give him more personality. That was key right here. But the thing that swung me and swung this into number 1 for me, we got 3 Paul Heyman heads here. Almost makes me want to pick up another Paul Heyman to have 3 different versions of this. Of course, I do have the Amazon as well, like all these figures, but I use a different head. Of course, it came with a similar head to this. I'm not going to use this on the new one. I'm going to keep this on this one, use this over here. We got old school Paul Heyman with the ponytail in the back. Just a very cool thing because, let's be honest, you can use Paul Heyman with your Brock Lesnar collection. You can put him with CM Punk if you wanted to. Obviously, the Bloodline. There's a lot of different places you can display this Paul Heyman. If you're like me, you keep your Ultimates separate from your Elites. You could technically put this one over with your Ultimates. It almost feels like an Ultimate Paul Heyman, what it would have been if that was the case. So way more meat on the bone, a nice surprise for this Paul Heyman, and I would have loved to have seen this treatment they gave Paul Heyman for all these figures across the board. Some better than others, like we discussed here. But if they could do that with these greatest hits, top picks from the vaults, these re-releases, they would really be cooking with gas, if you ask me. But I know that's not always going to be possible. They got budgets, they got things to do. But I really did enjoy this Paul Heyman way more than I assumed. If you would have shown me this list when it was first announced, Paul Heyman would have been last. So that's how big of a jump he went for me in the Vault Series 2. So just an amazing, amazing show of force by Paul Heyman and Mattel in this series here. So there it is from the Vault Series 2. Be very interested to hear your thoughts on this set. Some people say, hey, I'm passed on these. I don't need them. I don't need doubles in my collection. Others, I never had this Eddie Guerrero. Now I get a chance. So I see both sides of the coin, 2 sides of the coin, like a young Kiss, of course. But love to hear your guys' thoughts, and even more so, love to hear your set rankings in the comments down below. So make sure you do leave them down there. So there it is from the Vault Series 2. Let me know your thoughts. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Always helps when you thumbs up the videos. Always helps when you subscribe to the channel and my other YouTube channel. Of course, Patreon, you get early access to this video and many other videos. All kinds of content going on there every single day. You get glamour shots for all the videos. You get all kinds of Q&As, you get monthly giveaways. There's all kinds of stuff on the Patreon. Patreon, best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel by picking up my book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstar Series, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and now available on Kindle. So if you've been on the fence, you can pick up a much cheaper Kindle version if that is your thing. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media, hit me up, follow along over there, SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and Instagram. So from the Vault Series 2, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.